Prep Sports Night Live. We're here at Rock and Brews in Tustern. We are live. I'm Rich Estrella along with Steve Calhoun, and we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight for this edition of Prep Sports Night Live, sponsored by Suzuki, and also our broadcast partners at LA36. Hey, we got a lot on tap tonight. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, the obvious, Steve, is the modern-day Bosco game.
Absolutely.
We're going to get into that in just a couple of minutes here. Beckman in the house tonight.
Beckman's in the
building.
building.
And there they are in the back. They're just having a good old time and getting ready to promote Beckman tonight. The Patriots, as it were.
Yes, sir.
A lot to talk about. We're going to get right into it. And, of course, John Conte, Elwood Brown, Dan DeForest will be joining us with interviews off on the side stage. But right now, it's myself and Steve Calhoun. We're going to talk about a pretty big game this last week. A lot of exciting news. We're going to start off with Troy and La Habra. It was a 27-21 game, and Steve, it snapped La Habra's 33-game league winning streak.
That is unbelievable. I mean, just the fact that to win 33 games in a row, for however many years that they carried it, that's a big accomplishment.
That is huge, man. Let's take a look now at the play. This is the last play. La Habra had a 4th and 9 right here. Kenneth Salcido decides he's going to take off, and he gets hit right at the 2-yard line and a fumble.
Oh, my gosh.
And, of course, Troy, with the recovery, game ends right there. They take a knee. That was it. Troy upsetting La Habra, 27-21. Last team to do it was Buena Park, Anthony White, and Calhoun, you were there.
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. I actually coached in 2014 the Buena Park Coyotes.
Yep.
So La Habra had a different winning streak. We wasn't able to get it done. I was there with, Nick Needham, my son, and Jalen Hawkins. We wasn't able to get it done, but 2 years later, Anthony White and the Coyotes were able to break that streak that they had in 2016, and then from there, they went on a 33-game winning streak, which is incredible.
It's amazing. I don't care what school, what league you're in. To win 33 games in a row without a loss is amazing.
Definitely.
Especially in the Freeway League, because they have a lot of good schools.
There's a lot of good schools.
This was a very big win for Troy. They are now tied with Sonora, both at 2-0 in league, and they're gonna dogfight it out pretty soon to see who's going to win the Freeway League. Again, the first time since 2016 that somebody other than La Habra is going to win that league.
Exactly. The coaches from Troy and Fullerton and Sonora and Sunny Hills, they're doing a great job. So there's a lot more parity now in the Freeway League, and not just that big dog, the La Habra Highlanders.
Sunny Hills, one of the teams that was, wasn't doing very well in that league. A couple of years ago, they were up on top,
Absolutely.
So it ebbs and flows. But La Habra's always been the one constant that can literally put anybody down in that league.
Definitely. Coach Mazzotta has done an unbelievable job year after year, getting his kids ready to play every Friday, every Saturday, and to have that 33-game win streak has been huge. And for Troy to knock them off, I know those kids are feeling great right now.
He's been at La Habra for about 25 years now, probably has about 7 CIF championships, They were the small school that could after a while. We're always picking fights with the big boys. And Frankie did pretty good.
Yes,
Frankie
he did.
Jr. did very well.
Yes, he did. It's just it just says so much about his team and his coaching staff to be able to do what they've done year after year and stay on the top of that league is a big accomplishment for
I'm looking forward to Sonora, taking on Troy for that league title, because that's what it's going to come down to. I believe.
I'm going to have to go to that game.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
3-week slap, and they're going to meet one of the three. So, all right, let's take a real quick now before we start previewing games at the SoCal Top 10. And let's see what's been going on. We did not have a show last week, but we're here this week. And here, not much has really changed. Got Modern Day, St. John Bosco, Centennial. Sierra Canyon is like the newcomer to this whole thing.
Yes.
And we got Long U Poly.
Long Beach Poly.
Yeah, man. Sometimes these things get past us, man. And I did the graphics this week, so this is all on me.
Uh-oh.
But shout out Poly, Mission Viejo. Of course, Poly beat Mission Viejo, and they got Los Al following Mission Viejo. Mission Viejo beat Los Alamitos. Carlsbad hanging in from San Diego, and, of course, JCR and Rancho Cucamonga round this out. Rancho Cucamonga. What's up with those guys?
Brian Hildebrand, a great friend of mine. Someone who I used to train, someone who used to work for me at Armed and Dangerous, went into the coaching ranks, and he has his Rancho Cucamonga team playing at a very high level.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good to see him up there at 7-0. That league's kind of crazy. You had Damien in there. Etowanda, I believe. One more. I know there was 4 schools. Oh, Upland.
Upland's in that group.
And
well.
so now it's going to come down probably to Damien and Rancho Cucamonga.
Definitely.
To see who's going to win that league. And that league's a barn burner this year. Everybody had a winning record.
Yeah, the funny thing about Rancho Cucamonga, they're actually rotating 3 quarterbacks.
Wow.
And I talked to Coach Hildebrand about it, and he said basically I treat it like a baseball team. Whoever has the hot hand, that pitcher's going to come in. We're going to ride him, and if he's not doing well, we're just going to bring in, another pitcher,
right,
which is another quarterback for him, and they're just going to keep it rolling. But to have 3 talented quarterbacks, and for all 3 of them to stay at the school and not transfer out in this climate where if you're not getting any playing time at quarterback, they end up transferring.
Yeah. Well, Corona Centennial was very successful at platooning their quarterbacks. They have. They would run 2 sets of offenses, 2 sets of running backs, every other series. And it didn't matter who had the hot hand. Every other series, they traded out players.
That's a tough time for the defensive coordinator to have to prepare for 2 quarterbacks, 2 different looks.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't get that much time during the week to really prepare for both those offenses. So you just kind of have to pick with one and have your kids play really hard and read some of their keys and then do the best job they can.
Yeah. Interesting, man. All right, let's take a look at the national picture right now and take a look at how, we talked about the national picture a lot here because it always runs through SoCal, Southern California. For a while, it was Northern California, but conquered it south. Now we look at the national picture. Again, Mater Dei, undisputed right now.
Yes.
They are far and above everybody else right now. Bishop Gorman. However, I think Bishop Gorman would be a good game this year. Mater Dei normally gets Gorman,
yes,
but I don't know about this. I don't know, man. Gorman is so explosive.
They have a lot of talent. And it's driven by their quarterback that's, committed to Hawaii. He's an unbelievable player. Had an opportunity to work with him, at the Elite 11 regionals, and the way he commands just everybody on the field. And he throws a great ball, and, he's really fundamentally sound and has his team rolling 2 years in a row. The
only way to kind of judge this is Mater Dei played Centennial first game of the year, 28-14 game. Gorman got a hold of Centennial later on, 56-28, double up, just like Mater Dei. But, Mater Dei, I don't know how at Corona Centennial, too, that first game's always tough. I don't care what you're doing.
It's hard to prepare for. It's hard to prepare a first game. Try to get that look from the scout team to compare for that game speed that you're going to see from the other team. It's tough.
Yeah, but anyways, Gorman's got a great team this year. Chaminade, Florida, 7-0. St. Joseph's of Pennsylvania, 5-1, followed by Kahuku, Hawaii, 8-1. They beat Bosco. Mater Dei beat Kahuku, who's got their only loss, courtesy of Mater Dei. Then we find, of course, Bosco, Aquinas, Florida, St. Thomas, Beaufort, Georgia, Sierra Canyon, and DeSoto, Texas. And that rounds out your top 10. Interesting to Sierra Canyon joining the party, but they have to.
Yeah, you have to. When you're undefeated, you got to join that top 10 list, and you have some really high-profile players. Absolutely. You got some really high-profile players that have a lot of Power 5 offers, so, you got to add them to that top 10 list.
I think the posters really took notice of Sierra Canyon. They beat J. Sarah early on, 9-7. Okay, that could happen. It's the first game of the year, but they come out later, and they blew out Orange Lutheran. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, they got some really good football players. They're coached very well. But, that top 10, that national top 10, it's kind of mythical because I've got a chance to see Beaufort up close and live, and Dylan Riola, the Georgia commit. He is unbelievable. That would be a really good game to see them play against a Bosco or a Kahuku or a Mater Dei.
The problem with Beaufort is Beaufort played one team this year so far. That I could see.
Yes. The St. Francis team.
Yeah, and St. Francis isn't St. Francis this year.
Yeah, they're a little bit down this year.
They're down. They played everybody. They played number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5.
Yes, they do.
What the heck's going on with
that
those guys?
That is a tough schedule that they have. They're almost kind of like the Notre Dame of high school football.
Yeah. But you take away that one game from Beaufort playing, Maryland. They really haven't done anything. They don't have anybody in their schedule. It's not like Mater Dei's taken on usually all comers. Bosco's out there, trying to take on a few. Centennial, definitely. They had number 1, number 2, number 12 on their schedule this year.
Definitely.
But you got a team like Beaufort that really, if they came back and played these schedules, I wonder what they would really be.
Correct.
But I understand Georgia has great players. up and down. There's no
Yes,
doubt
they do.
about it. Just about every state does. But, yeah, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, they got players down there.
They definitely got some guys.
No question about it. But that's the national look. All right, let's continue on now. Take a look at a couple games of interest this week, if we can. Larry, we could pull up the San Clemente Mission Viejo game. That's going to be the first game we're going to look at. Two teams, they go after each other every year in that South Coast League. This is the first annual responders game. They're going to celebrate police officers and the fire department. Some of the kids on Mission Viejo and San Clemente, they have dads who are in the fire department and dads who are cops. And so this is a perfect game for this game. This game is to be celebrated because it is two of the top teams in South Orange County. But to put the first responders in there, I think that's class.
No, I mean, that's a lot of class. I mean, just to show that their respect, to the first responders and everything that's going on in this climate. I mean, they're on call all the time, and so you really got to give them their respect.
Yep, absolutely. That's going to be a good game, by the way. That's going to be for the South Coast title. Although Capital Valley's undefeated right now,
Yes,
but I didn't have time today to look up the level of competition complete.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it was so far. So it's hard to really judge and say, well, Capital Valley is going to be there for the first time in about a million years.
Correct.
In competing because San Clemente, Mission Viejo are tried, true, especially Mission. They got a lot of CI championships.
Yeah, Chad Johnson, head coach at Mission Viejo, always has his guys ready to go. Always has, 3 or 4 Power 5 players. And then Jaime Ortiz with San Clemente, they're a little bit of an underdog in that South Coast League, but they always put up a great fight. And those two teams are always battling for the championship.
Yep, yes, indeed. All right, let's take a look now at Downey. Downey Warren. This is a game that, man, I was surprised when I saw Bally's pick up on their games. Downey Warren is an old rivalry. These schools would sell out Cerritos College every year. They couldn't play at the high schools. The stands were too small. They might have held about 5,000. They go to Cerritos. They sell that out.
Yes.
Now they're going to be the first prep game at SoFi Stadium.
SoFi.
And the winner will definitely take the Gateway League.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
For those young men to go in there and play in that huge rivalry game, to play at SoFi, where the Chargers and the LA Rams play, that's going to be exciting by itself. But then you add in that rivalry between Downey and Warren.
Yep.
It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out game.
I've been to games in the 70s and 80s at Cerritos watching Downey Warren. I used to be the public address announcer at Downey when I was right out of high school, man. And I was shocked at how big the crowds were for that game.
That's
they were amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had the opportunity to see one of those games, but just talking to you before we started the show, you expressed to me how big of a rivalry is. You really don't know how big it is until you're actually at the game and see the excitement from the fans.
Downey's an old high school built a turn of the century, literally built in like 1901 or 1899, literally. Yeah, Warren was built probably in the 50s, but it is in Downey as well. Crosstown rivals. These schools are massive now. After the earthquake hit, back with the Whittier earthquake, and everything had to get rebuilt because those schools were so old. Downey High's got 4,500 kids. They're like a Moore League school now, And they won CIF last year, by the way.
Oh wow!
I talked to Jack Williams at his game this week. He said that SoFi, they had a gag rule. They couldn't talk about the game last week or upcoming until this week, so we really didn't get to talk to him. But again, he's excited about going out there playing at SoFi. And he's just following the directions.
Absolutely. When you think about a high school game that's going to be played at SoFi, you would think modern-day Bosco. But the first game, Warren and Downey, that has to be exciting for that both those fan bases.
I'm happy for him because Bosco and Modern Day did have the offer a couple years ago to be the first game at SoFi, but they turned it down. I think Modern Day turned it down, and I don't blame them. It's your home game. You play on your home field. That's where it's got to be. This is going to be a big game this week. Modern Day St. John Bosco. Braves are defending national champions. What is your take on this one? I'm going to listen to what you say. I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay. Well, Coach Beckman is the new head coach at Modern Day High School. For him to take over from Coach Rollinson, who's been there however many years,
100. He was 100.
30, 40 years. For him to take over that program and have them playing at such a level, they have not skipped a beat. So that just goes to Eric Johnson, their longtime defensive coordinator and their support staff. They're definitely, they've been rolling. I know they're going to be ready to play Friday night.
Is that Eric Johnson from the 49ers? Is that the guy? He used to be at Fountain Valley, I think.
Fountain Valley.
Yeah,
that's
Eric
right.
Johnson.
Eric Johnson.
I remember him. Yeah, it's a long time ago. Wow, his kid was playing. His kid's got to be 40 now.
Yes.
Is that how long it's been then? Oh, my.
He's been there as long as Coach Rollinson
has. We better quiet down now. Anyways, we'd go along. We can go all day about Modern Day Bosco. Here's what I think. I think Modern Day is going to beat them and they're going to beat them handily this year, even though it's on Bosco's field. Listen, they have one common opponent. Modern Day won that game 56-3 or something like that. And Bosco got beat.
By Kahuku.
Yeah. Now, listen, I know you can throw all that out the window. It doesn't mean anything. They're both highly motivated. They both want to win. Whoever wins this game is guaranteed to lose in the CIF finals. That's just how it goes with these guys. I think that's only happened one time where Modern Day won the regular season and won the CIF championship. They just don't. It's hard to beat great teams twice in the same season. You know that.
Absolutely. Jason Negro, the head coach at St. John Bosco, Chris King, the defensive coordinator at St. John Bosco. I know, hey, this is a big week for them. I know they circle the calendar every time when they have Modern Day on their schedule, so I know they're going to have them ready to go.
All right. Listen, this is Steve Calhoun over here, armed and dangerous. This guy's a quarterback coach. Man, if you listen to some of his clientele that he's trained, a lot of NFL guys, Jordan Love's one of them. I know you're at the game, his first game this year. I saw the jersey autographed and everything. But Steve, I'd like to thank you. Very knowledgeable guy. You know everybody in town, college level, prep, pro level. Yes. Everybody works out with Calhoun. If you're not, you're behind if you're a quarterback. But Steve, I'd like to thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Hang out, because I have Coach Giuliano coming on from Beckman. We're going to talk with Coach Giuliano in a few minutes. Right now, let's go to John Conti.
Hey guys, hanging out over here on the side stage, and I'd like to thank our sponsors. That's what this is all about, thanking our sponsors. Suzuki, thank you very much for being a sponsor of Prep Sports Media. USA Water Heaters, sales, installation, and repair. And Ream, a new degree of comfort. I see Ream hanging out in the crowd tonight. Great to see the great folks at Ream. And Modern Woodman Fraternal Financial. They are also hanging out tonight in the crowd. Great to see them. Lighthouse Escrow, also a proud sponsor of Prep Sports Night Live, along with Colossal Tax Services. Ruben is your man for any of your needs. And we can't do this without the good folks at Rock and Brews. As you know, we're here every Wednesday night. And, of course, we're going to get to this man in a minute, Jason Thomas, with JMJ Financial, and we have DeForest Realty as well. So we cannot do this show without our sponsors. And speaking of sponsors, I'm hanging out right now with Jason Thomas on the side stage. And, Jason, thank you so much for being here. As you can see, we've packed the house yet again, and we love doing these events, but we cannot do them without the generosity of folks like yourself. What does this event mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot, John. Thanks again for having me out here. As we spoke about last time I was here, I'm a big proponent of high school and, moving on to college sports as well, and being able to give back is just a wonderful opportunity for me. Well,
once again, it's so wonderful that you give back to the kids. As you know, Prep Sports Media gives away scholarships. We're putting on kids' games. As a matter of fact, next week we have the Beckman-Irvine game that we're broadcasting. We cannot do this stuff without people like Jason. So, hey, Jason is from JMJ Financial. Give him a try for any of your lending needs. He's a great guy. Anything else you want to add to this night, Jason?
Not really. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone. As John mentioned, we are JMJ Financial. We pride ourselves on helping people, turn their house into a home, one loan at a time.
I love that. JMJ Financial, this is your man, Jason. Thank you so much, Jason. Hey, Rich, I'm going to throw it back to you with Coach Marcello Giuliano.
Thanks very much, John. Appreciate it. Hey, Coach Giuliano's with us now. Conti already introduced you, man, so I don't want to sound redundant, but Coach Giuliano, Beckman High, happy to have you in the house tonight.
Appreciate being here.
Coach, I've seen a couple of your games this year, and man, I got to tell you right now, you guys got something going on at Beckman. You're 6-1 right now. You guys had an awesome pre-league, and now you're in league. Now you're where it counts. All that other stuff is just nonsensical. This is where you really have to perform.
Yeah, I said basically the
Up
same
here, Coach.
thing. Oh, sorry. I said basically the same thing in the paper the other day, that obviously we're really pleased with how the season has gone so far, but it's just so strange. Here we are, week 8, and we haven't really accomplished anything yet. And so we got our work cut out for us. We got to stay on top of it. And this late in the season, you got to keep getting better. It's just very, very strange that you're kind of starting from scratch. Everyone's 0-0 right now.
Well, Corona Centennial, the coach was telling us that, whatever we did in the preseason, I don't care who we played a ton of great teams. We're 0-0 right now going in the league, and we have to focus on that. Sometimes teams lose sight of that when they go 5-6-0 and everything seems easy, but your league rivals play you tougher than anybody.
Yeah, for sure. And the way our league is, it's 100% in school or in town rivals. All the kids know each other. So regardless of record, it's everyone's biggest game. Just because
Absolutely.
they've grown up playing against these guys and they see them around town, they run into each other at the In-N-Out Burger, and so the stakes are high in a lot of different ways. But for sure, we have to be ready to bring it these last 3 weeks.
Well, it seems like this year in particular, you got a bigger target on your back right now, simply because you guys are 6-1. You guys were rolling until last week, and then last week you guys got tested. But you guys learn a lot in those tight games when you're down in the second half, maybe late in the game. But you guys came out, scored 14 straight points, won the game. Those are the kind of things that really build a team, especially going into league, because you're going to have some tight ones in league.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we were pleased to play well enough to have some games in hand, but when you don't get tested, then you don't know what you're going to be like when the pressure is on.
Yep.
And so we kind of knew going in, number one, Portola's a terrific program. Coach Abe runs a great team, and they were going to be prepared. And number two, we knew that it was going to be 4 quarters and that we were going to maybe not play perfectly. And so it was just about compete, and see where we're at in the fourth quarter. And we were able to still have some gas and put it on them at the end. And so, like we told the kids on Saturday, I'd always much rather learn lessons in victory than in defeat, but there were still plenty of lessons to take out of that game.
Yeah, but again, winning a game like that definitely builds character, gives your team confidence. Doesn't matter we're down by 2 scores in the fourth. We're gonna win this game. Not even thinking about it.
And it also it gives them confidence too that you don't have to. You're not always going to play your best game,
but you can still win it.
But you can still win it. That's right. Rather than letting things snowball or anything like that. So you're right. Very great character experience.
All right. So we got some of your kids here we want to talk to. Who was Dan DeForest over here on the side, Coach? Who's he with?
Our first interviewee is one of our senior captains, Sean O'Rourke. Sean's he's a weapon in all 3 phases of the game. He's our leading receiver right now with over 400 yards receiving. He's also the leading production guy at DB. He plays corner for us on the short side of the field.
He's a busy kid.
And he's a kick returner. So busy doesn't even begin to describe it. He's having a great senior year, and he's a great academic kid. He's a well-spoken kid. He's a great baseball player. So he's the total package for sure.
Sounds like he's a multi-sport athlete.
Yep.
College coaches always look for that right away. First thing they ask, what other sport does he play? Anyways, Dan DeForest is standing by with Sean O'Rourke. Dan.
Right, I'm here with Sean. Hey, Sean, I noticed that you have made a drastic difference in your receiving yards, your catches. What do you attribute some of that stuff to?
I think of a lot of it's we got a new offensive coach. Coach Puga, he's come in. We got a new offensive system. So I think we've all learned that well, and we're running it well. So I think that makes a big difference. So different types of routes and stuff, and we're all executing well. We talk a lot about winning on air, and that's a big part of it. So just making sure we're doing everything we can control and making sure we run our routes right and trusting the quarterback's going to get it to us on time.
Well, I noticed you built a quick rapport with your quarterback. It looks like you have a real nose for the end zone. And tell me a little bit about that.
I think a lot of it is throwing with the quarterback after practice and stuff we've done lots of times, throwing with them in the summer and just building trust in each other. And then talking on the finding the end zone stuff, we talk about hard 5 steps. So every time we catch the ball, we're always turning upfield, looking for green, and trying to find upfield yards any way we can.
And I noticed that the coaching staff has built you guys up to a 6-1 record. What has changed from this year from last year?
I think a lot of it is our coaches spent a lot of time building a good scouting report for us to use, and I think the guys have really taken a good responsibility at making sure we learn the scouting report, and I think that's a little different than last year. I think our huddle time's up, and I think guys are prepared going into practice, which makes practice runs easier, and then when practice is a little easier on us on mindset stuff, we're ready to go for the games, and we're fully prepared for what we can do.
So the coaches prep, you guys work together, and you have a good off-season program that you work on. Take me through that.
Yeah, so our off-season program entails a lot of, we call it we do takes no talent workouts, so it's effort, explosion, that type of stuff. So we would do a lot of different trainings like that. We took off-season lifting very seriously this year. We made good strides in the weight room, and I think that's been a big factor in our success this year.
And what about some of your receiving? Did you work on some of your receiving techniques?
Yes, definitely. So one of our drills that we introduced a lot this year has been our distraction drill. So we've been lining up like 6 of the receivers, and we put our hands up and try to block the ball. And I think it's become also a competitive drill that the receivers like doing. Like if you drop it, we got push-ups. So we kind of like playing with each other with, you got push-ups now. So it builds a fun competitive practice that we can do to make sure we're getting better.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And so you guys are both scoring a ton of touchdowns. I think you got 7 this year. CJ has 6. Are you guys plan on building that? You're going to build that a little bit more, right? You got some big games coming up.
Yeah, hopefully take it one game at a time, doing what we can to help the team win.
And who would you say your biggest upcoming opponent is right now?
We've talked a lot about it in the offseason that a big part is just taking it one game at a time. So this week it's University, so that's going to be our big game. Our big focus right now is just focusing on University.
I love that answer. All right, back to you, Rich.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. Good interview. I like your kid over there, man. Dan asked him, who's your biggest foe coming up? Who's going to be, of the games that are left, who's the one you're looking? He says, well, we take these games one at a time, and right now it's University. Nobody else.
Well, it is a big one. Everybody knows it, and so we just we gotta stay the course here.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and that's good coaching there, Coach. To get a lot of coaches won't do anything like we talked about modern day Bosco. Well, me and Steve did. Talked about how they were offered the first game at SoFi 2 years ago, and but modern day had the home game. Said no, appreciate the offer. We're going to play in our home game because they know that the value of that game. That game's just too big. It just is. It's national implications. And but a lot of coaches, and I'm sure you're of the same ilk, you don't like to change your philosophy. You don't like to change your routine during the season. Once you're in the season, you're in your routine. You want to stick to it, I would assume.
Yeah, and that's why I turned down SoFi as well.
I love it.
You're right.
I love
We do get to be creatures of habit, and that's good to a certain extent. But then it's also like you also need to be able to recognize when things are a little bit different.
That's right.
And now that league has started, that's certainly the case.
Yep. Who's standing over there with John at this time?
Right now we have Kenny Aldaco. Kenny is a 3-year starter for us. He's our left guard. He's played offensive line. He started since he was a sophomore. He's been first team all-league both his sophomore and his junior year. So he's just a program kid. He's an incredibly hard worker. And I think everyone knows that we're blessed in the category of the lineman. And a big part of it is because how much he's put in and his leadership.
What are his digits? What is he? How tall is he? How much does he weigh?
From down where I sit, everyone is, 6'4", but he's dang close. I'll tell you that. And he's weighing in at like 250, 260, and he's one of those guys that's just country strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's an earth mover, which is why he's been great on the interior of our line for so many years.
All right, let's go over to John. Let's go over to Big John Conti.
All right, listen up, guys. If Kenny Aldaco is 6'4", then I'm 6'4" as well, because I'm standing on a milk crate just to be able to size up to him. But I'm joined by Kenny Aldaco, senior at Beckman, one of the pillars of the offensive line. Kenny, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm having a great time tonight. Great time.
Awesome. Well, we love having you here. I've been around you now for a couple years. You always have such a great attitude. What keeps you so positive on this team?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of it has to do with like the way I carry my own self-confidence. A lot of it is the environment of the guys around me. We're always trying to find ways to keep each other upbeat, cracking jokes left and right, just the whole go-around.
Well, you're doing a great job keeping your quarterback upright this year, and you guys are playing amazing football. How are you feeling heading into league play this week?
I'm feeling really, really, really excited. There's definitely a lot of competition this year. It's a lot harder than in years past, but I think with the way we've been practicing in our training, we're going to be able to get through it just fine.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we are really looking forward to you guys getting into league play. And what are your plans after Beckman High School, Kenny?
So I plan on attending Santa Ana College and going through the EMT program over there. Hopefully, in the future to become a firefighter. So yeah, that's currently the pathway I have set right now.
Well, that's fantastic. All right, I'm with Kenny Aldacco. We're going to throw it back to you, Rich.
John, what are you standing on? Coach tells me this guy's 6'4". Okay, I see that. All right. You pulled a Bob Costas. Bob Costas used to do that all the time. But anyways, that's interesting. That's funny. Anyways, Coach, first of all, congratulations. You were named as one of the 3 finalists to be Coach of the Month, or the week, I'm sorry, with the San Diego Chargers. The San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles, all right?
Exactly.
San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles. But that was my faux pas. I'm not diminishing the Chargers of Los Angeles here. But congratulations being nominated, man. That's a great honor. We don't know who's won yet, but it's a great honor.
Regardless of what happens, you're right. It is a great honor, and it's one of those things where the head coach gets recognized, but it's really about what the kids have done and how they've been playing, and you can't do it without the entire support of the school and everybody. So obviously, I'm thrilled to have my name up there, but I'm more thrilled that we get a little bit of recognition for Beckman football and what we've been able to accomplish so far.
I'm sure you're more thrilled about being 6-1 right now, going into the league, man.
Absolutely.
I'd be excited about that. Coach, real quick, who are the 3 gentlemen that are going to participate in the grub contest today?
Well, those are 3 more of our linemen, in fact, and they're kind of in order. So on the far right, we have Keon Kashkulinia. He's our right tackle. And then in the middle, we have Mikhailo Karpukin, our center.
That's a good chicken wing name.
And then on the left is Abraham Vargas. He's our right guard.
I'm surprised you could see him with the chicken hats on. Anyways, Elwood Brown's getting them set up right now. These guys are going to try to clean a wing. A couple of them. Elwood, we set up?
Sugar-free.
All right, we're going to go to Elwood Brown right now. Elwood, take it away, and congratulations, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks very much. Appreciate you having
Come on.
this year.
Great deal. Thank you.
How y'all doing tonight? Yes. I'm here at the favorite part of the evening. This is my special chicken wing eating contest, and I'm going to have these young men introduce themselves, starting with you.
Hi, I'm Keon. I'm the right tackle and defensive tackle for Beckman, and I also am a wrestling team captain at Beckman, and that's just.
Okay, Keon, that's multi-sport kid. I love that. Next guy, I love this guy's name, MK. It can mean anything. MK, I love it.
MK, I'm a junior, been starting varsity 3 years. I'm a center, and I'm a D-nose. Do everything. That's me.
How long have you played varsity football?
3 years.
I know, I heard you. I just want to make sure you understood. It's been 3 years, not 4. Hey, I love this young man right here. He got a handsome smile. Introduce yourself.
My name's Abraham. I play right guard and a nose guard.
Okay. Do you love the game of football?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what we have here, we have our famous Rock and Brews chicken wing eating contest. And the main thing is I have my lady judges. I will get to them in a second. Yes, sir. It's for you guys. You have 30 seconds. And I say get to the gristle. Whoever can clean the bone and to get the meat off the chicken will win $50. So I know you guys are teammates. Y'all have a good game plan. But first, before we start, let me introduce my judges.
I'm Itzy.
Speak up, young lady.
Oh, I'm Itzy.
Itzy. And what's your last name?
Cabrera.
And what sport did you play?
Flag football.
Oh, flag football, a beautiful thing. Now, since they implemented flag football, how do you ladies like the sport?
I love it. It's so good, The teammates awesome, and I just love being there.
Beautiful. Next, Judge, what is your name?
Marina.
Marina, well, you look tough out there. What position do you play?
Quarterback.
Oh, hello, the quarterback. Tom Brady in the house. Now, tell me something. Once again, do you love the game of flag football?
Yeah, I love it.
And what's special about this game?
You get to see a different side of sports. You get to see the aggressive part, and it's more fun than like volleyball and basketball because you get to be more aggressive.
Oh, man, you get to be more aggressive. That's what I like. And young ladies are always more aggressive. Next one, what is your name, young lady?
I'm Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, beautiful name. And what position do you play?
I play receiver and safety.
And once again, do you love the sport?
I absolutely love the sport. Just the girls and getting to bond with them is such an incredible experience.
Bonding. It's a beautiful thing, building the relationships and having a good time. So, young men, we have our judges. You have 30 seconds. And I'll let you know when I say go. And once again, we got to get to the gristle. Ready? Go. All right. Finger looking good. Ain't no time of wasting. Keon ain't messing around. Don't bite your finger off, Keon. It's not the bone, Keon, but I see you getting to the gristle. We have 15 seconds left. Get it working and work it right. And yeah, Keon, you know how to eat that chicken, son. Mama cooked chicken all the time. I can tell. Mama cooked the chicken all the time. Go ahead, Keon. MK, you kind of quiet there. You got the sauce on your mouth. Once. Time. Okay. I'm going to get you some wet naps, guys, but I need my judges. Step on in. Ladies, and all you got to do is look and see who took that one. Abraham, all three. Abraham, we're going to look at it again. We got Abraham and we got Keon. What you say? It is clean. Talk to me. Well, you see meat on, but I'm going to do it like this. We're teammates. Abraham, I already heard the game plan. So y'all win the $50 because y'all just going to buy some more chicken anyway. So give it up to Beckman. Give it up to the Beckman team. Abraham's the winner, but they're going to support each other. Give it up. Thank you very much. Good job. Back to you, Rich. Back to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Elwood. Another good rendition. Coach, you surprised that the one who won?
With how many wings?
He had about 500.
Yeah. Not surprised.
The last two. Hey, we're sitting here with Willie Puga now. He's the offensive coordinator over at Beckman High School. I've known Willie for a long time. You had a lot of success at Garden Grove High back in the day. You had some good players, too, man. It's some wild kids.
That was a good time. We had it going for a couple of years. That's actually how Coach Giuliano and I know each other from when I was there. He was at Pacifica and Garden Grove. We were competing against each other. So that's how we got to know each other.
So what's it like at Beckman now? Now you guys are together. You're working out at Beckman, and Beckman's having a great year.
Yeah,
great year.
We're right where we expected to be, where I thought we'd be. These next 3 league games are going to determine a lot, but we like what we got going right now. We feel like we haven't played our best game on offense yet. We're kind of waiting for that to happen, and hopefully it's Friday night.
Coach, what kind of challenges did you face this year coming in? You got a new school, you got to start working within the system, figure out what everybody knows.
Yeah, it's just you don't want to throw too much at the kids too soon.
Right.
We took our time, but I've got everything that I like to do in right now. So that was the biggest challenge. I just want to take it slow. Don't want to overwhelm anybody.
Right.
And these kids,
a lot to learn.
And I told them, I've coached at the high division. I coached at Los Alamitos for some years, and we're running the same stuff that I ran there when I was offensive coordinator. So that was the biggest challenge, I think, just making sure we're taking baby steps as far as what we're introducing and installing to them through spring, summer, and the fall.
Now, we're going to be talking to Austin Shepard. I believe that's him over there right now. Tell me about Austin.
Yeah, he's a really, really smart person, so that's really where it starts for me. Is like, it was never like, I can't handle this, coach, or we're putting too much on his plate. And again, he's played some really good football. I think there's still he can play better, and he knows he can play better, and we're hopefully we're hitting stride here in the next couple weeks.
You better hit stride in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, we're scoring a lot of points, but like I said, he knows, and that's our big saying is we want to, if we can win against air, meaning we're not fumbling the ball, the snap, we're not having any false start penalties or pre-snap penalties. If we can take care of that, then we're not really concerned with what they're doing to us on defense. We're going to take care of ourselves.
I have to assume Laguna Hills?
Laguna Hills
was your best opponent so far.
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
yeah. I've told numerous people the last couple of weeks, unless you were at that game or saw the film of that game, the score, I think we lost by 3 touchdowns, but we had a 7-0 lead on them going in the red zone, going to punch it in to make it 14, and had a turnover. But it unless you're at that game, you're looking at our record and looking at maybe some of our opponents going, they haven't played the toughest schedule. We played some good teams,
they're
yeah,
7-0 right now.
and they're on a couple-year winning streak, and I think they know because they face us that they had all they wanted with Beckman that night, and who knows, maybe we'll play them again in the playoffs.
Yeah, that you will. All right, John Conte's standing by. Now this time he's standing by. This is Bertoni.
What's that?
Am I right? Who's Conte standing with?
That's Austin right there. Austin. I think CJ. I saw CJ on deck. Yeah, that's our
Bertoni's
quarterback,
next.
Austin Shepard.
All right, John Conte, take it away.
All right. The good news is I'm not standing on a milk crate this time, but I am hanging out with Austin Shepard, starting quarterback for the Beckman Patriots. Austin, you are having one heck of a season. What do you attribute all your success to this season?
I just think it's kind of like the team camaraderie. I think we've all been brought together as a team. And throughout the past year, I think we've all been like one strong unit to where we each rely on each other and we each play to our strengths. And I think really our receivers, our linemen, and our running backs have all been bringing it together to where it makes it easier on me and it makes it easier on our team to where we can march down the field, score on drives easily, and just keep playing what we do.
Now, last week you were challenged a little bit by Portola, but you guys had to come from behind victory. What was that like in the locker room? What did the coaches say to get you guys motivated to come back out and win that game?
Well, in the first half, we didn't play our best football. We definitely had a lot of turnovers, and we couldn't get things going for us on offense. In the locker room, I think it was more so our teammates hyping each other up, and our coach, Marcelo Giuliano, was really helping keep up the team camaraderie and help bring us up. But I think our teammates wanted to push each other and bring each other up, and I think throughout the whole locker room and throughout the time we were back on the field, we brought a lot of energy to where we thought we can win the game and we thought we can come back and pull out a victory.
Well, that was one heck of a win. So how do you feel about going into league starting this week with Uni?
I feel really good about Uni. I feel really good about last week, how our team performed, and I feel really good about the effort. Even though we didn't play our best football, we all came around each other. We brought energy together, and I think if we bring that energy next week or any week, no one can stop us.
That is fantastic. And what are your plans after Beckman High School?
I want to go to college, and I want to go to good football college to where I can watch teams play football, which I really want to enjoy.
So you're going to watch instead of play on the next level?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to try to enjoy you all we can. You are having one heck of a season. Back to you, Rich.
Thank you very much. Shepard sounds like a cool kid, man.
Yeah, he's sharp, man. He's sharp. He could be coaching one day. Who knows?
So he wants to go to a good college so he can watch a good team play.
Yes, I think that's going to happen. If right here, his GPA took the SAT over the weekend. We'll see.
All right, man. Other than not overloading your offense with a lot of new stuff, which probably would be disastrous, what were the other challenges you were facing? How long does it take to actually figure out who everybody is and what they can do?
Yeah, I know. There's some last names I don't even attempt to know. There's some, but especially the guys on offense, because that's what I'm involved with. It's I've gotten to know them, especially the last few weeks. The bye week, helps with that. But as far as other challenges go, just like you said, getting to know each other, getting to know that if I'm on you and if I'm on you hard, it's not personal.
You have to let them know that.
That's how I am. That's kind of, if you ask anybody that's ever played for me, I've told players all the time, like, you're not going to like me much when I'm coaching you hard, but you'll realize why I did it.
You'll see the results.
Some years out after high school.
Yeah, you'll see the results of it. It's tough, everything's changed these days. I remember when I was playing, every coach was an ex-Marine, an military guy. You don't have those guys anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the kids today don't understand how hard you can be pushed, but, once you go to boot camp, you realize, man, you can do a lot more than you were doing.
And that's a big challenge. I'm old school. I'm
yes.
like you probably.
Yep, exactly.
I grew up a certain way, and then it changed. However many years ago it changed. The rules changed. What you can do as far as contact go, and how hard you can, how much contact you want to go. And there's a fine line there, but I think we've done a good job with that.
they've shut you guys down in terms of how many hours a week you can practice. We didn't have any limits.
And there's science behind it. I don't understand the science. I know, you push your body to a limit. You're not going to – it hurts you more than it's going to benefit you. So, like I said, we're still striving right now, I think, to play our best game, and hopefully it's this week.
Well, as long as you're enjoying it. That's all that matters, man. You guys are winning right now. John Conti standing by that's Elwood.
That's CJ Bertoni.
Oh, Elwood's got. I thought Dan DeForest was going to talk to him, but I guess Elwood is. All right, Elwood, we're ready for you.
Well, I'm here, Rich. I thank you, man. Hey, I tell you, here I have CJ. I'm gonna let CJ do the talking, but I did my homework tonight, CJ. Yes, I talked to your teammates. I watched you walk into the building. I watch how everyone gravitate to CJ. Your teammates say you're a leader. You have pretty hair. You're passionate. You're tough in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? So whatever they talk about, I want CJ to let everybody out there know about CJ.
All right. I mean, it all starts kind of setting a good example. You can only do what you control. So once you learn what you control and you do the best at that, then you can get people to look up to you, And so then from there, it's just loving and caring for your teammates, playing for each other. And I think that the moment that people realize that you got to play for each other rather than for yourself is when you start winning games, and that's the most important thing.
Man, I love a kid like you. When I was coaching CJ, man, you make coaching just be an amazing thing to do. So my question for you is, after high school, what is your plan? I mean, I know you can be an actor. I think you can do whatever you want to do, CJ, because you got that personality, you got that look. So you tell me what you want to do.
I want to see where football takes me. All right, I don't have a set plan yet, but I kind of just want to see where that takes me, and that'd be great to be able to continue my football journey.
Man, keep the hard work.
Thank you.
Keep loving the game. Keep that handsome smile, son. People will gravitate to you, and you work hard enough, you'll get what you want. And I want to thank your parents, man, because I just watched you in this building, man, and you set a great example, and your teammates really look up to you. So anything you want to say to anybody out there, let them know right now, CJ.
I mean, if you got to just love and care for people, lift your teammates up, make sure that they're riding with you, and you got a pretty good future ahead of you.
Man, I love that. It warms up my heart, son. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you.
Of course.
Back to you, Rich.
All right, thanks a lot, Elwood. Coach CJ Bertoni, we didn't really talk a lot about him beforehand, but I know who his dad is. He works with Matt Leinertz in the girls' flag football leagues and all that.
That's right.
Tell me about Bertoni.
Yeah, Cocker, SoCal. I've known CJ, I think, since he was born. Him and his dad went to high school. We went to high school together. He's a really, really good football player, even better person, and versatile. The guy's lined up pretty much everywhere on offense, even under center a couple times when we needed somebody to get reps. That's his biggest attribute is he's a definite team guy first. And where do you need me, Coach? If you need him somewhere he hasn't practiced, he's the guy to ask to do it.
He's the real we guy, huh?
Yeah,
Not the me
totally,
guy.
Totally.
Although he does have a presence when he walked in tonight.
Yeah.
But it's great. Listen, Willie, it's good to see you again, number one. Listen, continued success on your road right now. You guys got something going really good right now. I know you're used to it in a way because I know you had a lot of success when you were coaching as a head coach. But enjoy this, man, because these things don't come along all the time. You know that.
Yeah, thank you, man. We're like I said, hopefully we're doing this again in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, we'll be talking, I'm sure of it.
All right, man.
All right, Willie, thanks a bunch. Right now, Dan DeForest is standing by with, I believe, Cheyenne Darling. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm here with Cheyenne Darling, football player, flag football for Beckman girls. I understand that you are a 2-star athlete. What 2 sports do you play?
I play soccer and football, or flag football, and I've been playing soccer since I was 3, and I just started playing flag football this year.
So do you think that your experience in soccer has helped you prepare or get ready to play football?
I do believe it has, with the hand-eye coordination between my hands and the ball, and watching that positioning of other players with the ball has really been beneficial for moving into flag football this season.
I love it. Now I know you have a nose for the end zone. I heard that you caught the game winner today. And I saw you run down the field like this, which was awesome. Tell me a little bit about that.
The game was currently tied 6-6, and I knew that I had to make a touchdown to win the game, and all that was going through my mind is I had to catch the ball and get it down the field. So all I knew is I had to stick my arm out right as I was getting there so I didn't get fooled. So, yeah, that's how I got that touchdown.
Well, I saw you kind of zigzagging through like 5 or 6 players without getting paid. Is that tough, kind of avoiding people from pulling your flag?
It is kind of tough because you're not allowed to spin because that is a penalty. So having to be able to maneuver around them is a little bit more tricky, but it makes it part of the fun.
I love it. Now tell me a little bit about your rapport with your quarterback. Do you have a good rapport with the quarterbacks on your team?
Yes, both our quarterbacks are amazing at what they do, and they're both super sweet on and off the field, and it's been a great season with them.
So this is your first season playing football,
yes.
Right? And what adjustments have you made throughout the season to get you better or, more effective?
I've probably been working mostly on more hand-eye coordination with the football and my catching and running with the ball and that placement and maneuvering with the flags.
And have you enjoyed football more than soccer? I have to ask that.
That's kind of tough. Definitely very different sports, but I probably have to say I like soccer a little bit more just because I've been playing it longer.
Okay. And tell me if I'm reading this stat wrong. I understand that you have scored 12 touchdowns this year?
I do believe that is correct.
I love it. I love it. Are you going to continue to play?
Yes, I am looking forward to the next season and off-season currently. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, and how do you do in school? You're pretty smart?
Yes, I have all straight A's and I carry above a 4.0.
Okay. And do you feel like the coaching staff, they always get you prepared, right? Tell me a little bit about that, with your prep.
So we have tryouts in spring, and then we go into a 2-week summer camp in usually later July, and we prepare, work on routes, and finalizing team bonding and certain things like that. And then we will enter the season, and it's always such a blast with the coaches. They always figure out what works best with our team and how to make the collaboration work the best.
And I understand we know one of your coaches. Is he one of your favorites?
Coach Conti is definitely one of my favorite coaches I've had. He's a lot of fun to have on the team.
All right. That's John Conti. Back to you, Rich.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks a lot, Cheyenne. Hey, you had a chance to work with some of the Beckman football players, the girls. Absolutely. What is the difference between the boys and the girls at quarterback as far as coaching goes?
Yeah, it was an awesome opportunity for me to work with the Lady Patriots, through John Conti, set it up, and I was able to work with their quarterbacks. They're so coachable. The attention to detail is there. I don't have to even talk about it. They're so eager to learn about, the quarterback position and everything that has to offer. So I'm glad, they got this first season underneath their belts and they had a lot of success. And, I got a chance to work with Cheyenne and she's an awesome football player.
What is it about the ladies? I've heard coaches tell me, and these are male coaches that have coached both men and women, the girls are just fundamentally better overall.
You know what? I think they don't have any bad habits.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They don't have any bad habits that they kind of grew up, just kind of, molding bad habits, and we don't have to undo it. I had the opportunity this summer not only to work with them, but I also did a quarterback receiver camp, an all-females quarterback receiver camp in Amsterdam.
Oh, wow.
I had 30 young ladies come out, and, we did quarterback receiver camp, and it was unbelievable. And they're just so coachable. They're hungry. They love the sport. That's the biggest thing. They love football, and so it's really easy to coach someone when they love ball.
Well, this sport's exploding right now, girls, flag football. I mean, the guys have been playing it for years. I did not know that there was flag football leagues for ladies until I got down here in South Orange County. We started doing these shows, started talking to people. And it was just amazing to find out. Now I understand it's the collegiate game now too as well.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
an Olympic sport, according to some people that know. We interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember that lady from San Francisco 49ers who was coaching for a while, but she was her and her sister are coaching at the University of Ottawa in Canada, and they have flag football.
Yeah, I mean, flag football is growing. I mean, with the support of the NFL, I mean, I think it's going to be an Olympic sport coming up. Maybe not this summer, but I'm sure in the next Olympics. But it's a non-contact deal, so you really don't have to worry about your children, with the concussions, anything like that. They're just out there getting better, and they love the sport. And I'm glad it's growing, worldwide.
Now, throughout the years, this is going totally off topic now. Throughout the years in football, in the southern section in particular, they're always chasing transfers. Everybody's lying. Everybody's cheating. Everybody's using somebody else's address, and they're not even living there. I mean, it was amazing. I could write a book about this thing. I should. I remember in the 80s with the Artesia scandal and Wayne Marino and all this crazy stuff going on. But now that the field is more level now than it was back then. The parochial schools, the private schools were garnering all the athletes. They were stockpiling them.
Yes.
Now it's more open you can go pretty much wherever you want. Although if you played varsity football, say for instance, you got to sit out 5 games before you can play. So it kind of slows it down a little bit. But for the most part, you see a lot of public schools now starting to pick up their game now that they have kids transferring in. How long do you think it's going to take, or will it ever be again where a public school can take on a Mater Dei or a Bosco?
Well, I don't think it's too far away. I think it's coming in the near future, because I think a lot of players that are at these private schools are seeing that I don't have to go to a Mater Dei, Bosco, Olu, Santa Margarita to be recruited.
Right.
I just have to play. And as long as I play, and I play at a high level, it's up to those recruiters that can evaluate my film and just give me the opportunity. So I don't think it'll be that far away where they would be able to play with those private schools. But I mean, with the private schools being able to recruit kind of all over kind of nationally, they recruit that. I think they're always going to have that edge, because I really believe it comes down to the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman, which separates the private schools from the public schools.
It's been a long time in the open division since a public school has won it. It was actually Corona Centennial, and they won it twice. Back to back. They beat Mater Dei one year, and the following year in 2015, I believe it was, they beat Bosco. After that, it's been Mater Dei and or Bosco every year, every other year. So that's kind of where we're going down this line right now. This game seems to be very big. This is the one year you can actually say I think Mater Dei is the right favorite in this one.
Yes.
Every other year it's been a coin toss. This year, I just think that the Monarchs maybe is as good as 2 touchdown favorite in my book.
Yeah, when you watch them on film, they don't have any flaws, not at all. Not a lot of flaws. With Elijah Williams, the Stanford commit quarterback, with him coming back, being a 4-year starter. No, I mean a 2-year starter now. Him guiding the ship, so the offense hasn't missed a beat, and just you have so many talented athletes. I was reading a publication yesterday, and it's between the 2 teams, Mater Dei and St. John Bosco. They have 70 Power 5 offers between the 2 teams. 70. Power 5.
How do you compete with that?
It's hard to compete. So for the Centennials and the Rancho Cucamongas and Mission Viejos, it's just hard to compete when you got 70, Power 5 offers between the 2 teams.
Yep. It's going to be a wild still, but I'll tell you what, when the NILs came into play, it didn't take anybody long to catch up with Alabama, right?
No, it did not.
That's right.
No, it did not.
All right, Steve, thanks for joining us tonight. Steve Calhoun of Armed and Dangerous. Look him up. Got a quarterback, somebody with a little bit of talent. Steve's the guy.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go out to the parking lot. We're going to wrap this baby up tonight with the girls from Beckman. Good night, everybody.